Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Captain Cinnamon, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about some of the best card pickups that I got for the year 2025. 2025 is kind of a milestone year for me. It's the very first year where I really got deep into collecting the One Piece card game, and the first year I actually started playing as well. For this video, I figured we'd do a show and tell of all of the biggest card acquisitions and pulls that we got throughout the year. Now, if you're a fan of these kind of videos, or if you're just a fan of One Piece card game content in general, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to the channel. I'm really hoping to ramp up uploads this year, and your support is going to help that a lot. Let's get right into the show and tell, and let's start off with a banger, EB01 Chopper. So this card I managed to pull at the very beginning of January. It was at an anime store at the outlet mall. I've never opened EB01 in the past at that time, and they were Japanese packs, but you know, I figured let's get 3 packs. Let's see what we get. The first 2 packs weren't too bad. Managed to pull the regular SR Chopper on my second pack, and lo and behold, on the 3rd pack, we got the Manga Chopper. Absolutely insane pull, and an equally beautiful card as well. Just a really good selection of panels for the background. Really love this card. Up next, we have the very first acquisition that I got for the year, and it is the Monkey D. Luffy PSA promo, the leader card for OP05. This card is significant in many ways. Number one, it is the very first collaboration that Bandai did with PSA for the One Piece card game. And at the time, Purple Luffy, the OP05 variant, it was a pretty meta deck. A lot of people like to play it, including myself. So I got the card in preparation for One Piece Day, which was coming up a month later. All of those aside, just looking at the card, it's just such a significant moment in the series. You've got the whole Straw Hat crew getting ready to fight over on Wano on Onigashima. It's just such a nice card, and I'm super happy to have this in my collection. Talking about One Piece Day, of course, we've got the One Piece Day promos. So me and my wife actually went to the event, so we both got one each. These promos are so significant to me. It was the very first card related event that I've ever been to, and of course, being a follower of One Piece for so long, being able to go there for not just the series itself but also for a new hobby that I got into just made it so special. So these cards are cards that I am never gonna let go of. You've got here, of course, the Luffy promo, which features all of his gear forms. You've got this beautiful Adodon, which I honestly wasn't expecting to be that big of a fan of just because of how they showed it on the website. It looks stunning in person. And of course, you've got this Roronoa Zoro promo as well. Super happy to go. It's unfortunate because it seems like they're not going to be doing it again this year, but I was very lucky and fortunate to have been able to go to the first one and got these cards, so these are going to be staying in the collection forever. Next up, we have the OP10 SP Whitebeard. This was one of my absolute favorite pulls, mainly because before this set actually came out, I remember over at One Piece Day, they had a huge display that actually showed all of the cards that were going to be in OP10. And the SP Whitebeard to me was just one of the most prettiest, stunning cards I have ever seen for One Piece. And I knew then and there that when OP10 releases, I needed that card. I had to pull that card. And I actually pulled this card on vacation. I was in Illinois with my dad who was visiting, and I got a box over at the One Piece store. We were in our room, and as I was opening the packs, I was explaining to him how everything worked. I got this card at my very last pack. I was feeling pretty sad because my pulls prior were pretty underwhelming. Out of nowhere, we just pulled it. There's just so much significance with the artwork of the card, and this is going to be a little dramatic, but you know, with the theme of the Whitebeard pirates being about family, about the father figure that is Whitebeard, and with my dad being there, him just listening to me talk about the hobby, just made the pull so much more significant. OP10 was kind of like the SP set for me because not only did I manage to pull this card, but I also actually managed to pull a bunch of other OP10 SPs. If I'm not mistaken, I'm actually only missing 2 of them. But yeah, this Whitebeard SP is hands down one of my absolute most favorite SPs of all time, and it will still be my favorite moving forward as well. Another card that I am never going to get rid of. This one's just going to stay with me, not just because of the artwork, but just because of the sentimental value that came with it as well. Next up, we have two cards that I didn't pull. These two cards were purchased, but they were also purchased on the same vacation that I was on when I pulled that Whitebeard, and they are SP Ace and the SP Luchi. Now, these two cards, I got them at Collecticon Chicago, one of the biggest card shows that I've ever been to, and I chose these two cards specifically because I feel like out of all of like the SP cards that are out there, theme-wise, I feel like they're the most distinct, that even without looking at the character that's on them, and if you just looked at the background, you can pretty much tell who the character is going to be on the card. That's just how distinct and unique they are. Really, really beautiful cards. Love the details, especially on the Luchi. I would say this Luchi SP is probably one of the most underrated SP cards out there of this particular theme. I just love how distinct and unique it is. But yeah, just beautiful, beautiful cards. So June was a very, very significant month for me. It was the month that the second anniversary English set finally shipped out. For the people that aren't aware, the second anniversary set was made available, I think, at the beginning of December up until January. I could be wrong on this, but funny thing was that this set did not sell out like immediately. It isn't like some of the other Bandai stuff that are out there that are pretty much gone within minutes. This thing was available for weeks. I think it almost made it to the very end of its runtime. So the set came with a bunch of stuff aside from these cards. You got a playmat and a full Dawn set and a storage box. But of course, the main highlight of the set itself are of course going to be the cards. You got these 4 character cards of all the Yonkos, and of course you also get these leader cards, which to me are just some beautiful, aesthetically pleasing leader cards. You've got the whole crew featured behind all 4 of the Yonkos, and the BP Luffy of course was the most significant one to me. I was playing BP, which is black purple Luffy at the time, so just having this leader card on the deck that I was playing made it all the more cooler. Now, June was also the same month that OP11 came out. A lot of cards that were in there I thought were pretty cool. But of course, the most significant ones to me were the SP cards, and I was lucky enough to pull a few of them. So starting off, we have the OP11 SP Luffy. I would say out of all of the SP cards that have this kind of theme, I'm actually not sure what this type of theme is called or style design is. This particular SP Luffy is without a doubt my favorite one. I actually didn't get this card from the box that I got. I think I only got one box of OP11. I didn't really go hard with it, but I got this from 10 Walmart blister packs, and if I'm not mistaken, this was actually my only hit, but well worth it. It was the SP that I wanted from the set, and as you can tell, you know, just looking at the card, I think the details, the design, and just the overall look of the card explains why it's just a really good looking card. I love everything about it. I also managed to get a bunch of other SPs from this set as well, so we managed to pull the SP Shanks. This SP came from a game exchange a game exchange that was selling OP11 packs, and we also have this SP Shirahoshi. Now this Shirahoshi was not pulled. I did purchase this from a local store, specifically Steadfast Hobbies. Shout out to you guys. Another beautiful looking SP card. I really like the details on this one, more so than I actually like the Shanks. I'm gonna talk about the really weird body proportions on this, but overall aesthetic wise, I think it's just a really nice looking card. Up next, a bit of a segue in terms of sets, because this is from a set that came out a year ago, but it was one of my biggest, if not the biggest hit to date, and it is the OP09 Manga Shanks. Now, once again, this set did come out a year ago back in November, but I got this from participation packs for joining an online treasure cup. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was for Versus Games. It actually took them a while to ship out pricing. It almost got to a point where I completely forgot about the packs, and I remember the day they arrived. It was in my mailbox. I was on my way to Walmart, and after doing my groceries in the car, which at the time I've been doing a lot of card pulls because for some reason my luck in the car always seemed to be a lot better, lo and behold, we ended up with the Manga Shanks. I was honestly shaking. I know it sounds a little dramatic, but I really was. And I didn't actually have any top loaders or sleeves with me at the time. So I remember I just tucked it back into its small little packaging, placed it in my glove box, and I drove a lot slower than I normally drove back home. I was in absolute shock. It's just, come on, it's Manga Shanks, and it's from a set that is right now one of the hypest sets to have ever come out. So beautiful card. Yet again, another card that I would most possibly keep within my collection unless a big trade comes up, but who knows. So a few months after OP11 came OP12. Now for OP12, my luck honestly was not the best, but it is pretty significant in that it was the very first set where I managed to actually collect all of the alt art leaders for it. Now OP12 was called Legacy of the Master, so which is why, as you can see when you look at all of these leader cards, you basically have all the masters and their apprentices. So you have Zoro and Mihawk, you have Kuzan and Garp, you've got Luffy and Rayleigh. Pretty interesting theme that they went with the leader cards. Art wise, looks pretty good. I wouldn't say they're the best. I'm still a really big fan of just the simple character type leader cards. I just feel like when you're actually playing, I think thematic wise, just having like that particular character featured on one single card to me is just better. But art wise though, definitely very good looking cards. All of them pulled, by the way. I didn't purchase any of these. Also, shout out to Adakai TCG for this absolutely stunning custom. This is actually my first and only custom card in my collection that I actually like to use at local play. Essentially, I just have the alt art leader on one side and the custom on the other, so anytime I use Zoro's leader ability, it's just a quick swap over to it to show that I've used it. Shout out Adakai, it's a very beautiful card. Go check out his shop for other custom cards. About a month later, I received another premium Bandai exclusive card that came with the official playmat limited edition volume 3. This one was only a 3-month wait, so it wasn't that bad, and as you can see, it's an absolutely stunning and hilarious looking card that came from an also equally hilarious moment in the anime. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but once you get to this part and once you learn about Usopp's story and all of his misadventures, you're gonna understand why this scene is just absolutely hilarious. Love to have this card. I wish the deck was a little bit more playable or stronger, but I'm just really happy to have it. So the next set to come out after OP12 was PRB02, or Premium the Best 2. So for PRB02, I got 2 boxes and we managed to pull the SP Charlotte Pudding. So they had 5 SP cards that came out for this set, and I would say these SPs are probably some of the most unique SPs that they did, mainly because of the interaction that the character has with the borders of the card. Normally, they just eliminate the borders and just do full arts that cover the entirety of the card. Sometimes they come up with like those different frames that you saw with like the Luffy and the Luchi, but this was like the first time they came out with SPs that interacts with the actual border and integrate them with the art itself. So as you can see, like Charlotte Pudding here is cutting the border at the very bottom, and you see like the other parts, the outer parts of the frame getting all cut up as well. So theme wise, this is a very good looking SP. It's a pretty expensive card right now, mainly because this particular card is very playable in a lot of meta decks, specifically Ace, and of course for Boa Hancock that's coming out in OP14. Beautiful card. Once again, I'm saying beautiful a lot. Next up, we have one of the craziest pulls that I've also managed to get, and it is the EBO2 Boa Hancock SP leader. This Boa Hancock is one out of, if I'm not mistaken, 26, and in a case of 12 boxes, you are only guaranteed 2 of these. You can either get 2 random SP leaders out of 26, or you can get one of these SP leaders and the other one is going to be the alt art EBO2 Luffy. So very hard to pull, especially if you're trying to find a specific one. And I actually was not going to get this card. We were moving states. I had an E-drum kit that I was looking to get rid of and sell. And a buddy of mine, we got into an agreement that I would exchange my E-drum kit with his unopened box of EBO2, which we all bought at the time. We decided to go for a swap. Shout out to Kevin, by the way. He was the guy who traded the box with me. Once again, just a very memorable card, and it's a beautiful card. The details on it are really nice. I like how all the background details and the letters pop up when you look at it. Before we actually get to the very last cards that I'm going to showcase for this video, I just wanted to make sure that I include this beautiful Yamato SP that was gifted to me by my good friend Kevin. The same Kevin that also traded me that EBO2 box that resulted in the Boa Hancock SP. Of course, it's a beautiful card, but all of that aside, the real weight of the card lies in the sentimental value that we have for the card. He pulled this out of an OP05 box that he bought at a convention with me. I also got myself the same box, We actually both managed to pull SPs. I have an unboxing of the same OP05 box video on my channel, and this was a year ago, back in September. Fast forward to October of this year, he gave this to me as we were about to move states. So a lot of sentimental value behind the card. So this is a card that I truly cherish, and I'm going to be keeping in my collection forever. Shout out once again, Kevin. Thank you so much for this card. So here we are. It's November, and we have the very last set of the year. We have OP13 carrying on his will with the theme of the three brothers. Having luck on the previous anniversary year got me a little nervous, because you always want to retain the same luck going into the next one. And boy, did I get lucky, because out of 5 random packs at a convention, we got the Demon pack. I actually have a video of me opening, which I'll probably play a snippet here on the side for you guys to see. I opened the cards of the packs on the way out of the parking lot while my buddy Tan was actually driving, and yeah, you can just hear the shock that I was going through. So for the folks that aren't aware, the artwork for these cards were actually done by Gege Akutami, who is the creator of Jujutsu Kaisen. You actually have regular versions of these that are basically just regular alt arts that you can pull as part of your regular hits, but these particular cards that you are looking at, they're different in that they have like these red hockey effects, and also the border is a little different as well. So these cards, this particular style, you can only get in a Demon pack. Now the Demon pack comes with all 5 cards as well as a leader emu, but you also get a bunch of other alt arts. It was 6 total, so basically you got 12 cards total in the Demon pack. Crazy pack, and honestly one of the most craziest and unexpected pulls, which just was the perfect way to culminate what has been a very fun year of collecting for me. So that was my 2025 of collecting the One Piece card game. What pulls did you guys get? Go ahead and let me know in the comments. Would love to know what you guys have gotten, what have been your biggest hits for the year. And once again, thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope to see you guys in next year. Happy New Year, everyone.